Really trying to understand what's going on inside of me that's enabled me to kind of just deal with some of those creative tensions. Hi, my name's Kos and welcome to the PaperThin Place. And on this channel, we talk about communication, creativity and culture. And sometimes we do that through the lenses of leadership, diversity and art. And it's kind of around art that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about something that has really helped me kind of progress or hold ground when thinking about creative things, be those projects or kind of work that I've been doing. And it's really trying to understand what's going on inside of me that's enabled me to kind of just deal with some of those creative tensions. Today, I just want to talk very quickly about a little concept that's really helped me kind of just get through being creative, because sometimes that's difficult, sometimes that's not so easy. You run into issues or problems or blocks, and it's not always that easy to get through that, because you then start to question lots of things, you start to doubt lots of things. But this kind of tension, this kind of idea or concept has really helped me not just kind of hold where I am, but actually understand what's going on through that process. And it's really about this idea or this tension between frustration and friction. So let's look at a few dictionary definitions to help us get a bit of a starting point. Frustration, the feeling of being upset or annoyed as a result of being unable to change or achieve something. The prevention of progress or success or the fulfillment of something. Now let's take a look at the word friction. The resistance that one surface or object encounters when moving over another. So within both of those words, there's this idea of movement or direction. With frustration, it can feel a little bit like you're going round in circles, that whatever you're doing, you're not really kind of moving very far. You're not making kind of waves. You're not pushing past this kind of like block that you're kind of stuck in. Whereas friction seems to kind of say that there's a natural kind of abrasion or resistance as a result of moving forward. So there's those two ideas, like frustration is kind of like wheeling around in a circle, whereas friction comes naturally through the movement of breaking into a new area or a new direction. And I guess that's what's really kind of been helpful in understanding for me my own kind of creative processes. Is it frustration or is it friction? Do I feel like I'm going round in circles, or do I feel like I'm moving forward? And as a result of that, there are some other things that come as a result of that. So frustration feels like it's me orientated, whereas friction feels like it's more about the direction and more about this thing that we're trying to achieve. And because we're breaking into new ground, we're entering into a place that we've never been before, maybe there's a natural resistance, like we're breaking through something that's solid and difficult, but at least we're breaking through. Whereas frustration is just this constant circling around and round and round. Now, I know that doesn't change the situation or the context of what we're trying to do or see happen, but maybe it helps us realize what we can do next. If we're stuck in this kind of like constant circle and we're feeling frustrated, maybe it's time to take some new inputs. Maybe it's time to take and seek out new perspectives. Maybe it's time to even rest a little bit and give ourselves a little bit of a break from that constant circling. And maybe those new inputs or that new perspective or even taking a rest then helps us break that cycle and that circle and being stuck in that kind of like similar place. If we're in places of friction, then actually that's in a strange way kind of an encouraging thing, because actually we don't get friction if we're not breaking into something new, if we're not in a place where we haven't been before. Friction happens as a natural result of those things. It happens because nobody else has done this before, or we've never done this before even. So I guess if you're in a place now where it feels a little bit hard creatively, maybe take a few moments to think and try and work out, is it a place of frustration or is it a place of friction? Because that hardness, that difficulty can be happening for a number of different reasons. And though the situation itself may not change, maybe understanding the situation helps us realize what we can do next. So if you are in a place of frustration, it's okay to take a bit of a rest. It's okay to get some other input or other perspectives from other people. It doesn't mean any less that you are any less creatively. And if you're in a place of friction, then actually it's kind of a weird encouragement that you are breaking into new ground, into new spaces, because of that naturalness and abrasion that comes through breaking new ground. And I guess if we are pursuing things creatively, sometimes we are going to experience a bit of both. Sometimes they're going to be overlapped, sometimes even. You know what, I think being a creative person and trying to pursue new things and new expressions and new ideas, we are sometimes going to find ourselves in a place of friction, and sometimes we're going to find ourselves in a place of frustration. And that's kind of part and parcel of the normal creative process. But learning which one's which at what time, or how much of one is currently in play at any given moment, helps us understand who we are in that and what we might need to do, not just to kind of progress that idea, but actually how do we stay healthy and whole as creative people and not explode or implode as a result of not feeling like we're progressing forward, or feeling sometimes that things are hard and difficult because of those two natural kind of understandings or kind of awarenesses around, is something being, is something frustrating, or is something happening because of the friction. Anyway, so that's a whole bunch of stuff to think about. Take it if it's good. If it's not where you're at right now, leave it behind and maybe pick it up another day. But let me know, are you working on some new projects? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling some senses of friction in the things that you're pursuing creatively? Let me know in the comments below where you're at with some of that stuff, or if any of this stuff is helpful. It'd be great to hear from you. Thanks very much. Be kind and be nice, and I'll see you later. Bye. So frustration, and it's around this idea creatively in terms of the things that I do, and people coming in and out. But hey, but today I just want to take in some new